In this video, I'm going to show you how to differentiate logarithmic functions and, more importantly, why it works the way it does. We're going to look at the 4 examples on the screen in front of you and arrive at the 4 answers you see on the right. Now, for the derivatives of logarithmic functions, it's important that we start at this basic understanding. How do we get to the fact that the derivative of log base a of x is equal to 1 over x ln a? Well, the idea is this. Let's assume that y is equal to log base a of x. That is equivalent to writing that out in this way. We could write it out as a to the power of y equals x. This is in logarithmic form, and then the new form that I've written in it is exponential form. They are both the same thing, just written in different ways. Now I'm going to implicitly differentiate a to the y equals x, and I'm going to differentiate it with respect to x. So on the left side, the derivative of a to the y with respect to x, well, that's ln of a times a to the y times the derivative of y with respect to x. Don't forget to apply the chain rule. The derivative of that y that we're left over with, we don't know what it is, with respect to x. You can look at our previous video about derivatives of exponential functions to see how I got that. Now on the right side, I have the derivative of x with respect to x. Well, that's just 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by ln a times a to the y. So this gives me derivative of y with respect to x is equal to 1 over ln of a times a to the y. But it's worth noting here that a to the y is equal x. That's what we said earlier on in the video. So I can rewrite this as 1 over ln a times x. That is the derivative, and this is going to apply every single time when I take the derivative of something in the form y equals log base a of x. We're going to get something that gives us 1 over ln of that base times the x, the variable that is being acted on by the logarithm. Let's now apply this rule to the specific cases in these examples that we're looking at. Y equals log base 5 of x squared. Now the thing to keep in mind here is we need to remember the power rule of logarithms. The power rule of logarithms, one way to write that would be this. Log base a of something to a power is equal to that n brought out front times log base a of x. And so because of that power rule, I can go ahead and I can rewrite this before I differentiate anything as log base 5 times x, but that 2 is going to come out front, so I can add that out in front of the log base 5. So log base 5 of x times 2. Now I can go ahead and differentiate this. And when I differentiate this, what I'm going to get is I'm going to get, according to the rule we did earlier, 2 times, that stays out front, the log base 5 of x. So we write it as 1 over the ln of the base, so ln of 5, and then also in the denominator, whatever that log is operating on, so log base 5 of x. And I could write that final answer, simplifying a little bit, I suppose, as 2 over ln base 5 times x. And that's our final answer for that derivative. Now let's go ahead and look at the second situation. Now we have, again, this power of 3, and I can apply the power rule to bring that out front. So I'm going to go ahead and, before I take any derivatives, I'm going to write this as 3 times log of 2x minus 5. Now you'll notice here there's no base on the log. Well, if it doesn't have a base, it's like there's a 10 there. So you can write that in just so we remember it when we take the ln of that, when we write the derivative. And we can now apply the derivative. So dy over dx is equal to 3. That stays out front because it's a constant that's out in front. And now we apply that derivative rule to the log base 10 of 2x minus 5. So that's 1 over ln of 10, ln of the base, times what that log is operating on. But now in this specific case, we have to apply the chain rule. The chain rule effectively says now we have to apply the derivative to what the log is operating on. The derivative of 2x minus 5 is 2. And now we're done. We can simplify this now. We could write it as dy over dx. That's equal to 3 times 1 times 2, so that's 6 in the numerator, over ln 10 times 2x minus 5. And that's our final answer for that derivative. So far we've looked at the power rule and the chain rule. Now let's look at a couple situations that have the quotient rule and the product rule. So here we run into a situation where instead of having a log, we also have this ln. Now remember what ln means. If I have y equals ln of something, ln of x, that's the same thing as saying log base e of x. Now the reason that ln is very common is if you go and take the derivative of this part, we go 1 over the ln of the base, the ln of e times what it's operating on, x. Now the ln of e is equal to 1. And so effectively the logarithm that it's operating on is just going to be disappearing on the bottom, and we get just 1 over x in that specific case. And remember, the reason that ln e is equal to 1 is because it's really log base e, and we're saying e to what power gives us e? Well, that's just going to be 1. But you'll also notice that we have this division here. And because of that division, what we have to do is we have to remember the quotient rule. The quotient rule for logarithms says this. It says that if I have log of a divided by b, that's equal to the log of a minus the log of b. But here we have a ln. Remember, all ln is it's log with base e. This rule applies to any base. We could have a base, let's call that base m. It doesn't matter what that base is, this is still going to apply. So if I have a ln, then ln of a over b, that's equal to ln of a minus ln of b. So let's go ahead and apply the quotient rule in this specific case. So I'm going to begin by writing this out as ln of 2x plus 1 minus ln of sine of x. Now that I have that, I can go ahead and apply my derivative rules. So I'm going to take the derivative piece by piece. So I'm going to look at the ln of 2x plus 1 first. This is going to give me 1 over, because this is ln, that means it's log base e. So I'm going to take the ln of e times the 2x plus 1, what it's operating on, and then the derivative of 2x plus 1, because of the chain rule. So I'm going to multiply that by 2. The derivative of 2x plus 1 is 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and now take the derivative of ln of sine x. This is going to give me 1 over the ln of e, for the same reason I just described on the one on the left, times sine of x in the denominator. And now the chain rule says take the derivative of sine of x. And the derivative of sine of x is cos of x. And now I can go ahead and simplify this. Keep in mind that both the cases where we have ln of e are equal to 1, that's always the case. So I can write this as the derivative of y with respect to x is 2 over 2x plus 1 minus cos x over sine x. There's no lns at all in this answer. And I can take that one step further by writing it as 2 over 2x plus 1, and then the cos x over sine x is cotangent of x. And that is our final answer for that derivative. Now for the most challenging situation of the derivative of a logarithmic function. We have something where we have two things multiplied in the numerator and then something divided in the denominator. Now in order to do that, what we have to do is not just remember the quotient rule that we had earlier, but we also have to remember the product rule. And the product rule says this. It says that if I have the logarithm of a times b, that's equal to the log of a plus the log of b. And then in the specific case of the ln, log base e, I could write that as ln of a times b is equal to the ln of a plus the ln of b. And in this specific example, what we're going to do is we're going to apply both the product and quotient rules together as we answer this. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and separate this out. So I'm going to write it as ln of x cubed plus, I'm looking at the numerator values there, so I'm going to apply the product rule. So plus the ln of cos squared x, which is the same thing as cos x squared. And I'm going to write that in brackets just so it's really clear there that it's the cos x that's being squared. And then we're going to use the quotient rule with the denominator. So I'm going to subtract the ln of 2x plus 1 to the power of 1/2. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and I can bring the exponents out front. So I can write this out as y equals 3 times ln of x plus 2 times ln of cos of x minus 1/2 times the ln of 2x plus 1. And now it should be fairly straightforward based on what we've done so far. But let's go through the process now. Notice I haven't even taken the derivative yet. Only now am I starting to do that. I apply as many rules as I can to simplify things from the logarithm rules before taking the derivative. So now I have 3 times, well, the derivative of ln x, I showed you on the middle there, that's equal to 1 over x. Now I'm going to go ahead and say plus 2 times the derivative of ln of cos x. This is going to give me 1 over ln of e, so that's just 1, times cos of x, and then the derivative of cos of x, which is negative sine of x. And now that last piece, minus 1/2 times 1 over ln of e, which is 1, times 2x plus 1, and the derivative of 2x plus 1 is 2. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and simplify this a little bit. So I'm going to have dy over dx is equal to 3 over x minus sine over cos. So 2 times sine over cos. And then the 2 here is going to cancel out with the 2 there. And I'm going to have 1 over 2x plus 1. Now I can go one step further. I can write this out as the derivative of y with respect to x is 3 over x. And the only thing I can simplify is this right here. So minus 2 times tan x minus 1 over 2x plus 1. And that right there is my final answer from taking the derivative. For more examples about how to take the derivative of exponential functions, check out the video on the left. For more videos in a playlist all about calculus and vectors, check out the playlist on the right. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful.